Testimony has resumed in the hush money criminal trial involving former President Donald Trump.
Today, the judge in the case weighed if Trump violated that gag order in the hearing through his posts on Truth Social, but did not issue a decision on the matter yet. Trump spoke outside the courtroom earlier this morning about the large police presence around his trial.
We have more police presence here than anyone's ever seen. For blocks, you can't get near this courthouse. And yet you have nobody up at a college where you have very radical people wanting to rip the colleges down, the universities down.
CBS News national correspondent Errol Barnett is following this for us from outside that courthouse down in Lower Manhattan. Errol, it's been an eventful morning down there already. Bring us up to speed on what's going on.
Hey there, Ben and Lilia. You're exactly right. At this moment in the courtroom behind me, David Pecker, who was a longtime friend of Donald Trump, is continuing to testify. This is the second day of his testimony, and he's detailing a relationship that goes back to the late 1980s. He said he and Trump worked on a quarterly magazine together. He watched Trump's profile rise over the years, said his show, The Apprentice, was an instant hit. And in fact, when Pecker acquired the National Enquirer through his AMI company, Trump congratulated him on a great buy. And so today, the jury, now hearing this testimony, is seeing that Trump and Pecker's relationship in media goes back decades, and they've had a mutually beneficial relationship. For the prosecution, this lays the groundwork to fill in the gaps and the motivation as to why Mr. Trump would want to suppress negative stories through this hush money payment and catch and kill policy as he was ascending to the presidency in 2015 and 2016. But I want to bring in one of our CBS News staffers who was inside the courthouse during today's proceeding. CBS News reporter Graham Cates was inside, and you saw the day begin with what seemed like fireworks between the judge and Donald Trump's lawyer over this argument of the prosecution saying Trump's violated the gag order already. What happened?
That's right. So Trump is not supposed to be talking about any of the witnesses in the case or pretty much anyone involved in the case other than Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg and the judge, Juan Merchan. And prosecutors laid out a series of 10 examples where they say primarily on Trump's social media site that he violated that gag order, whether talking about two-star witnesses, Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels, or one post that seemed to reference jurors or potential jurors. And they said they want the judge to hold Trump in contempt. They stopped short, though, of saying incarcerate him. They said we're not seeking jail time for this contempt, but a warning that in the future that could be a possibility. And Trump's attorney, Todd Blanche, tried to defend these posts that talked about the two witnesses, that talked about potential jurors, saying that Trump was responding to political attacks. And the judge repeatedly said, give me recent examples when either Michael Cohen or Stormy Daniels attacked Trump's politics. And Blanche repeatedly kind of shied away from that. He didn't actually give a specific example. He made a reference to something involving a document from 6 years ago. And the judge said, I want the most recent example. And at one point, Blanche asked the judge back a question saying, I don't know why we're talking about recent only. And the judge, you could hear his voice rising, said, I'm the one asking the questions here, not you. And it was really an intense moment. So the arguments ended there. We haven't yet got a ruling on that. There was a short break, and even during that break, Trump went on his social media site and made another post about the judge who is currently mulling this contempt request.
So the judge has yet to make a decision on what the punishment may be. It could be a verbal kind of slap on the wrist. It could be a $1,000 fine per violation, which the prosecution wants, or he could place Trump in jail, which the prosecution is not seeking. And actually, the prosecution said that's perhaps what Trump wants, but they are leaning toward perhaps more of a verbal warning that jail time is possible. You're watching Donald Trump inside. How is his mood and how are you reading his mannerisms compared to other trials that we've watched?
You know, he's really stone-faced. He's stoic. He actually doesn't show very much emotion, and it's a great contrast to two recent trials. During his defamation trial over in a federal court a block away from here, throughout the 2-week-long trial, he would speak audibly so that anyone in the gallery could hear kind of moans of disgust at certain points, where the jury jury could hear it too, where lawyers and the judge had to repeatedly warn him, you could be in trouble for this. And during his fraud trial at the next building over during the fall, again, repeatedly he had to be warned about intimidating witnesses by talking during their testimony. The judge had to warn him, you cannot keep interrupting proceedings. But during this trial, during the first 2 weeks of this trial, except for one little instance, he has not talked very much.
That's noteworthy, especially now that the judge has to make this decision on what the punishment will be for these potential violations of the gag order. And Ben and Lilia will continue to bring you updates as they emerge today. Things will wrap by 2 p.m. Eastern, but we should hear from David Pecker, who continues to testify. Michael Cohen will be a star witness at some point this week. Stormy Daniels could take the stand also. And so Donald Trump's demeanor during that testimony is key for the jury, which just has to decide whether or not his defense is credible or not.
All right, Errol, thank you so much.